Hello everybody. So in the last episode we created this modal. Whenever you go to a /new or a /edit route, we render a modal, and this is pretty useful because it makes the app feel more native, your tubro-android app feel more native, but nothing's more native than a native screen. So in this episode, just going to show you how to render a native screen, and you'll see it's actually pretty straightforward. So the first thing, as with the last time, there's 3 steps. You add your object to the path configuration file. You create your fragment, and then you add it to your main session nav host. So let's quickly do that. Now I'm going to be typing here, and I have received comments, or someone has given me feedback to say watching someone type is boring. Well, that is fair enough. Watching someone type is quite boring. I will take that feedback on board. So the first thing we do is we have our patterns, and then we have our properties. Now our properties are going to be the same as pretty much the other properties, just one slight difference. The context, we're just going to use the default context. And then for the URI, which is the most important piece of the puzzle, we're just going to call it turbo hello world. Cool. So now that we have our URI, we're just going to create our fragment. So we're going to create a class, and we're just going to call it hello world fragment. And the first thing we do is we inherit from turbo fragment, and then of course we annotate the class with the URI that we just created. And we're inheriting from turbo fragment because the guys who created the tubro-android library have actually done all the work for us, and now we just have to create our native view. Now you have 2 options for creating native view, or as far as I know you have 2 options. You've got the Android views, and you've got the Jetpack Compose. The actual demo of tubro-android is actually using Android views, and what Google recommends for new Android apps, they actually recommend Jetpack Compose. Now it's obviously completely up to you. In this tutorial we're going to use Jetpack Compose just because we can get up and running pretty quickly, and I actually don't really like wading through XML files that much. It's not the most fun thing you do as a programmer. So the first thing we do when we're inheriting, we want to create our own view, we want to use Jetpack Compose. We're going to overwrite the onCreate view method that is in the library, defined in the library. Android Studio will handle the auto-completed, and we just change what's returned. So we return a compose view, and which will require a context, and apply, and we just have to import the library explicitly in Android. It's not like Rails. And so we set the content. Now for the content, we're just going to create a hello world view, and that will take a modifier as modifier, and I'm just going to quickly create a modifier. Cool. So a modifier is essentially how you would add colors and change text and stuff like that in Jetpack Compose. So this is red here because obviously we haven't created the view, and we're going to create a Jetpack Compose view. And the first thing you want to do is you just want to annotate it with a composable and hello world view, which takes the argument of modifier, which is a modifier class. And now we're in business. So first of all, we're just going to render a column, and in that column just going to be text hello world, or hello YouTube, should we say. And finally, for our column, we just want to center the text. So don't do all those jokes about centering text on a screen on Stack Overflow or centering a div in Jetpack Compose. It is very straightforward. And finally, our modifier, we want to use our modifier that we just passed in from here. So that should be it. Now, we're not done yet. We just have the final third step. We go to our main session nav host and we add it to our list of registered fragments. So, and that is it. Once we run the app now, and we click this button here, you see, you get hello YouTube. And that is pretty much it, fellas, or guys and girls. You start with your configuration file, you add your object, then you create the fragment, and then you add it to your list of registered fragments. So really this approach, it makes your app feel it's truly native. And of course you can go beyond hello world and implement all sorts of like native APIs, maybe call to the out to some web API. There's just so much you can do, and it really is truly hybrid. So you can build an app really quickly, and when you run into areas where you feel you need native, you can use native. And this is what I love about this library. So that's it for today. If you like this video, feel free to press the like button. If you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to go to my website, williamkennedy.ninja, you can feel free to sign up to the email newsletter, and you will be notified every time I write a new article or post a new video. But ultimately though, you are a free human being. You don't really have to do what some guy on the internet tells you to do. You just kind of do what you want. So that is it for today, folks. Any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can just contact me via my website. Thank you.